had the feelings that just hanging on was just about all you could handle, just barely hanging on for whatever reason. I'm going to talk about that today. I think that the very first thing that a minister would say to the congregation is the secret to hanging on and getting by is being aware of and using your connection with the divine, with God within you. And I think we've all tasted that. We've all experienced that. Sometimes you could call it like being in the groove with your own divine. And I don't know what I'm there sometimes, like all of us. And sometimes I'm really not, like all of us. But I think that I have this thing on my bucket list. There's no word. It's like you could use like bliss maybe or something. I don't think the English language has a word for what you feel when you are in connection with your divine, with the universe, with God. But I have this thing on my bucket list that comes close to that feeling. It's like someday before I pass, I want to sit in a bathtub and soak clear up to my little hanging down parts on my ears in a whole tub full of warm tapioca pudding. I just can't think of anything more divine or blissful, or I don't know. But there's not a word for it. But I want to kind of expand beyond that. I want to go somewhere else a little bit. Have a look at different perspectives on the things that most of us face, and that getting through it, and a little different perspective on maybe a lot of stuff. So you can kind of think about that while we continue on through our time together this morning. And I'm going to sit down and shut up right now. So, Kelly, I think it's your turn.
Okay, this is not anything about tapioca pudding. How many of you have locked yourself out of your car or lost your car keys? Okay, seems universal. We all have different scenarios of this experience. Let me share mine. I stopped at a local fruit stand to buy some berries. Since they were beyond tasty, I bought quite a few so I could share them. That part of the story is a good part. The not so good part, excuse me, was setting my car keys down in the trunk as I arranged the boxes of berries so they wouldn't spill over. Being so happy with that, I quickly slammed the truck shut. My purse, phone, keys were all locked inside. And oh yes, my car doors were locked. The vendor kindly dialed AAA on his cell phone, but instead of road service, he got the office. I had the business number. I listened to lots of offers for cruises and car rentals and deals, etc., pressing many numbers trying to reach road service. I was on his phone so long that eventually his cell phone went dead. Another customer witnessed this frustration and kindly offered to take me home to get my spare key. He told me that once his lost keys could have meant life or death. He and a buddy had parked off a dirt road to go skiing in some remote area in Tahoe. After a long day of skiing, they returned to the car, tired, hungry, and cold. Each thought the other had the keys. Need I say more? It was so remote an area, and it was getting dark, and the temperature was dropping rapidly. They were very worried. Eventually, he spotted a dark hole in the snow, which the Keys had made when they dropped through it earlier. You can imagine his relief. To this day, he has a spare key attached to the underside of his car. So now what does all this have to do with the spiritual message? It is, at least for me, a reminder of how we all live on this planet, experiencing many of the same challenges and extending the help to others when needed. Too often, we are bombarded with the horrors that some people commit as they make interesting news. How boring my little story would have been on the nightly news. And yet, it is a daily example of how we humans relate to each other and help each other when needed. To me, this is a prayer in action I call a pragmatic prayer. Kindness, kindness. Kindness is always the key that never gets lost, and it always opens doors.
Kelly, thank you very much. You can clap if you like. That's and I'm just amazed all the time. Kelly, I sent Sabrina and Michael a copy and Ward a copy of the order of service on Saturday night so they know what the songs are and what the titles are to put on our thing. But, well, hi, come in. I'm so glad to see you. Haven't seen Taylor in a very long time. We're happy to see you. And we got other girls. We became a younger congregation today in Mass. But where was I? I don't even remember where I was at. But it amazes me how many messages line up with the talk. Just that spirit working. It's just what they call that. There's a name for it. Synchronicity. Yeah, that's it. I have announcements to make, but the most important announcement that I want to make is there's a couple here today that used to come here all the time. Vivian and I actually officiated their marriage ceremony. I remember when both of their daughters were born. Doug and Becca Brecky and your two lovely daughters, Sarah and Emma. Please stand up so everybody can see you. Just welcome home. They moved back from Colorado. They've been gone for ages. And since the girls were babies, and they're back in Carolina to stay, I'm thinking. That's what I heard. So I could spend like 2.5 hours of what they bring to the party as human beings and their families. So welcome home. So glad to see you. You can sit down now if you want. And we're glad to see Taylor with us today. Hi. And it's just, I'm just kind of a little overwhelmed right this minute. Mondays will start up again on the 14th or something? Yeah. Okay, 4th, 5th, maybe the 12th or something like that. Anyway, Thursday will be not this week, a week from Thursday. Our third is Thursday, ladies' spiritual book study. Ringing bell Friday morning at 9:35. Ring out danger. It's our little voice in our community that says that we just want to do all we can to stamp out and end gun violence in our schools and our society. And so be here at 9:30. The bell starts ringing at 9:35 and rings for 5 minutes because that's how long the guy was shooting at somewhere.
Newtown, Connecticut.
Newtown. And so anyway, it's a great thing. Today is potluck. And we have new faucet, we have a stove that the oven works and everything. It's just, and tables that look so much better, need a update, are they all done or just part of them or?
Half of the tables have been cleaned and scrubbed.
Okay, and we can do the other half today while we're done?
Anytime, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, just plenty of stuff to do, so, anyway, we're just going through summer like crazy. So, I wanted to mention, there's other things going on, but many of you have heard me talk about Music to My Ears, which is a music class for kids that gives all kinds of instrument lessons, dancing lessons, singing lessons. They're right over by the new subway place on 116 in Redwood, right on, just on the other side of 101. They've been in business for, I don't know, 20 years, I've known them, and they took over the theater in Sebastopol. And our band is doing a fundraiser for that on the 10th of August at 3 to 5 p.m. You can get tickets at sebastopolmusic.com, I think, or sebastopoltheater.com. And I hope you all can support them. They do some really amazing things for the young people in our community. So, and besides that, you're going to hear a magnificent band, and but mostly it's to support Music to My Ears. Any other, yes?
On the Music to My Ears, at the bottom of those flyers is a QR code, so if you've got a fancy new smartphone and the app in there, you can scan it, pick up your tickets that way. It's a lot easier than having to look up a website. Also on that subject of QR codes, for those of you that want to donate to the church and the gratitude moves you, there's a QR code in the back, so if you're not carrying cash, it makes it easy. You can do it, and it automatically sends a receipt to your email, so it's tracked well in the church, but it's tracked well for you, just so you know. The other and more on Music to My Ears, some of you were able to come and support me when I went and took adult theater. I really appreciated you being there. That was a first time for me at my advanced decades. But they were a truly supportive place, so it's not just for the kids, it's adults, and it's open to the entire community for anybody wanting to learn and grow in theater, performing, voice, instrumentation. And I'm blessed to know some families where there's 3 generations involved with Music to My Ears and being inspired, so it's really a good cause to support. Different subject. The food barrel in there is running quite a bit slow on filling up. So all of us, time, talent, thought, and treasure, you know, some of us have deeper pockets than others, but maybe our cupboards are a little overfilled. Even 1 can, 1 box makes a difference. Drop in what we can. It'd be nice to go ahead and top that thing off and have them cycle it out so the food gets in the community before what's in there runs out of date. Right, thank you.
Thank you. I had an experience. I was cleaning out my pantry, and there were some canned goods in there I didn't really recognize. And some of them I remember that my wife put in there in 2000 and 1999. And I grabbed a can of tomato sauce and it exploded. Black stuff right there. So I figured that probably wouldn't be a very good
Don't use
donation.
the donation barrel for cycling out your expired stuff, because you're just passing on the garbage control to them.
Okay, any other announcements? If not, then let's stand up and sing Flow, Spirit, Flow, number 251 in the Wings of Song.
Flow, Spirit, flow, and all my fears relieve. I am a channel for that love and peace. Fill me with power and let my heart be strong. Fill me with joy that I may sing thy song. Heal, Spirit, heal, and all myself renew. I am experiencing my perfection true. Fill me with love that time may love you be. Fill me with love and let me live for thee.
Doug and Becca, this hasn't changed since you were here the last time. This is the time we greet each other in the traditional Church of the Oaks fashion. Was that an okay tempo? You'll see I can do my super tempo too. Moving day. Thank you, Kelly. Are you okay? Are you okay? You know, I say this over and over and over and over and over again. our abundance is the sum total of each of us together in this room. Our time, our talent, our thought, and our pleasures that we share together as community, as family. And today we have these three young ladies with us that are just like an artesian well of energy and hope and enthusiasm, an example for us. We always think we need to be the example for them. They are a great example for us. Sarah and Emma and Taylor. We are so fortunate to have that kind of abundance in our family. So let's read together our affirmation of abundance, may we? When we choose to give, if our gift is inspired by gratitude rather than obligation, we are manifesting the power of the divine and the spiritual principle of abundance. May we ponder that a moment. Thank you, Michael. As we prepare for our meditation this morning, let's sing together in the stillness of the silence, number 97 in the
In the stillness of the silence, I am one with perfect light. I am healed, I live in freedom. Join up with me, thrill me, wonderful. In the stillness of the silence, I am one with perfect love. I am wise, my thoughts are loving. Peace with me, thrill me, wonderful. In the stillness of the silence, I am one with God the good. I am trusting as I listen. Peace fills me, thrills me, wonderful.
Good morning. Good morning. I'd like you to take several long, deep breaths. Let all thoughts and worries float away as you breathe. Imagine you're at a beach. You notice a colorful beach chair resting in a peaceful spot where the powdery soft sand lies undisturbed. You sit down, lie back, feeling relaxed and comfortable in your chair. You see the ocean as a deep shade of blue with the fine white crests of waves sweeping towards the shore. After a moment, you begin strolling down the beach to the water's edge, feeling the warm sand between your toes. You feel a cool, gentle breeze pressing lightly against your back and the warm sun on your face and shoulders. Finally, you reach the water's edge. You watch the waves glide smoothly towards you, gently sweeping around your feet, and trails of seawater that flow slowly back out again. Take a moment and feel the rhythm of the waves. And like the rhythm of the waves, with every breath, you submerge yourself in liquid golden light. This golden light is your inner light. With every breath, your light gets stronger and brighter, like the waves coming in. On your next inhale, receive divine light. On the exhale, give out divine light right here to the person next to you. And on your exhale, I'd like you to think, as you go on your way today, may God be with you to encourage you, watch over you, and within you to give you peace. Namaste.
I've given a great deal of thought to some of the anxiety and maybe anguish and overwhelm that the majority of us are going through. And I'm speaking kind of mostly to our more mature members of this family. And it seems like, when we get to a place of retirement, and it can be any kind of change, just have people move halfway across the country. And people have had health issues like crazy. And there's times when it's like hard hanging on, or it's life is really setting up a whole wall full of challenges. But I found that with most people, especially of retirement age, something changes drastically in their lives. And for a while, it's great because you can do a lot of vacations and play a lot of golf and do some stuff. But then after a while, it's kind of like we get a little cloudy. And I've tried to figure out why all this is, and there's a lot of different thoughts on it, but I've got maybe a little different perspective is it's like empty nests and thing that people go through when their kids leave. There's a boy, we're very active in doing our whatever it is we do for a living. And then one day we retire or our circumstance changes and we aren't as busy as we used to be. We had, while we were out in the world as young, active, accomplishing folks, we had acquaintances, we had friendships, we had relationships of all kinds. And that interactivity was going on all the time. And then we came home and things were different somehow. Reminds me of the perspective change when this happened reminds me of one of my favorite poems. I don't have wrinkles and my face isn't drawn. The house is cleaned up and the cobwebs are gone. My garden looks amazing and so does my lawn. I don't think I'm ever going to put my glasses back on. You know, we can have so many different perspectives of the same set of circumstances. And all of us go through it. I'm speaking primarily of retirement today, but all of us go through these changes that we just aren't sure about. You remember like 30, 40 years ago, you could always tell when you were in the presence of old folks. You could do it without even opening your eyes. Because old people, pretty much all of us, know what Noxema. You remember that? Yeah, I do. Going to grandparents' house, oh, Noxema again. It was what that was fashionable to use to deal with all these changes going on with your skin and your body and your energy and everything. And I keep thinking about the changes in this cloudiness that we feel. It's because our interacting time has been cut down. And we go through this cloudiness thing. And one of the antidotes for that cloudiness is to volunteer. Step out of your comfort zone and join some kind of group. Doesn't make any different kind. We have people here that are part of the Roanoke Park Chorale. We have people that are part of the book study and the healing circle and all different kinds of groups that make one-on-one interaction possible. And that's healthy. It changes that depression, that fogginess that so many of us get into from time to time. I've got 400 things going through my brain right this minute. I ask you to look at your order of service at your first quote. The internet and online communication is the window into your world. But real life, in-person communication and connection, that's the door. And it's the difference between just looking at something and being aware of and having Facebook friends and actually having that human energy exchange. And I think our energy exchange is so important. We have work days, and people really, really work hard. And I've seen people, we're doing it on the hot days and the rainy, cold, and everybody's out there either sweating or freezing, and they're working, and their hands are full of splinters and dirt under their fingernails, and you look at their smiles. Every single person in working together for a common cause, whatever it might be, brings a feeling of goodness, of accomplishment. Another thing we get into when we leave a habitual set of lifestyle circumstances, when that changes, and here we sit, And we can play golf 3 or 4 or 5 times a week. We can go on vacation, go on those cruises. But we have a sense that we lost our purpose. We spent our whole working lives trying to figure out what our purpose is and our career and our families, and we had a purpose, and then one day we don't seem to have a purpose. We don't seem to have like goals. We don't seem to have a direction. We don't seem to have self-satisfaction. And I think the more we can get out and interact with other human beings, have that energy exchange, that helps us transcend the cloudiness, the depression, the anxiety, the anguish, the overwhelm. Because what happens when we get to feeling a little bit depressed? What do? We can take some, turn you into vegetable drugs, or we can just sit home and watch television, the same programs day after day after day, and become more and more depressed. And in doing so, the chemistry in our bodies changes. Our brain tells our bodies to make hormones and chemicals that are unhealthy for our well-being. I ask you to look at the last quote on the bottom of the page. Be bold. Step out of your comfort zone. Burn down stereotypes, the labels, the categories, and build a community. We have done that. The hard part's done. Now all we have to do is participate in the community. And the more we do, the more enriched lives we will have. I promise you, I will write that in blood if you want me to, and sign it. My guarantee. Our friendships are so important. We've got good friends, some friends, we have family, we have acquaintances. But I think it's neat when an acquaintance can become a friend. And after a while, when a friend becomes your family. And I think that's what we've accomplished here. It's been a long time, but I think we have accomplished these acquaintances that we had when we walked in this door the first time have become friends. And because of our acceptance and our caring and our welcome and our joint participation, we've actually become family. And we interact with a certain consciousness that I don't think many people have the privilege of experiencing. Doug just told me a little while, he said, there's no place in Colorado like this. There's no place anywhere like this. This is unique. Didn't you say that exact same words to me a little bit? I'm sure he did. And we are. A lot of people call us the old heathens on the corner, but we are unique. Because we are community. We are family. We work together. We share strong differences of opinions together. But we love each other and we care for each other. And we work diligently to maintain a we consciousness. And I'm delighted that people who experienced that in whatever fashion that it was 8 years ago or 7 years ago came back the minute they got back in town. to experience this community, this unique situation, this unique consciousness that we share here at 160 West Sierra. Constantly evolving, always changing, but always a community. Always one in spirit, connected by the very fact of our existence in this world. We've all got ups and downs. We all have times when it's like, I don't know if I can hang on how much longer. I don't know. Knowing that we are spirit, that can help. But hanging out and cleaning tables at Church of the Oaks on a Saturday morning, that can help too. And sometimes that help really feels good. Even if it's just for an hour or two, it really feels good. Changes all the stuff going on inside of our brains and our hearts and our bloodstreams. And it really enriches our lives, participating in this family, participating in this community, doing what little bit we can, each one of us, big ones, young ones, old ones, tall ones, all of us, bringing what we bring ourselves to this mix, to this community. We may not think so, but our consciousness, what we're feeling right now as you sit in that pew, as I stand here, the consciousness that we feel is having a positive effect, an enrichment on the consciousness of the entire world. How much? I don't know about measuring. And I don't know if there's really words to explain it entirely. But we're doing it. And if we can remember that when we're trying to hang on from going crazy, or want to just sit home and watch Dancing with the Stars and have another vodka and tonic. If we can remember, we are part of something that together we can participate several times every week and change the consciousness of this planet. On the 25th of August, I think, we are having, it's a potluck day, but we are having like an annual meeting of everybody, and we're going to figure out and maybe form little committees and figure out plans to have game nights and game days and maybe chili beads or pasta beads or whatever, and learn how we can participate together in ways that will enrich our lives together, collectively. More we. And I hope all of you kind of hold that date and come. Just kick your ideas around, and we have people that have so much energy and enthusiasm. And that is so communicable. I mean, that spreads quicker than COVID. It's really, really enthusiasm and desire to enhance and to expand our participation together as a community, as a family. And I want to thank all of you for not using Maxima anymore. I appreciate that a lot. But my dear family, it's such a pleasure to be with you and participate with you every week. And to see these young people sitting here, it just, you want hope? You want to have a little optimism? Just look around this room. There are so many ideas and so many people that really want to turn this into more than a Sunday morning coffee clutch. We can turn this into a lifestyle, a community. We've already created the community, but now we can watch it grow. We can build what we want that enhances and enriches our lives and the lives in our community. We're going to start inviting the people from our 12-step programs to come to this unconditional welcome place. We don't have a doctrine. We don't have a set of rules to judge anybody by. We don't have nothing. You just have to show up and be part of us. And I think a lot of people, whether you're in a 12-step program or a golf club or the community cabaret group or the Roanoke Park Chorale, I think we can participate together and get past that cloudiness, the change and anxiety and anguish cause within us. We could develop new purpose. I always had a purpose in life. I wanted to be a father and a husband, and I moved machinery. I tell people I'm not very smart, but I can lift heavy things. But I think that was not my life purpose. That was a purpose for a while. That was a way to make a living. That's what I enjoyed doing for a while. But it has dawned on me these last 24 years, being part of this family is my purpose. And I think it's yours as well. And Vivian used to say something, this is a bit of a stretch, but she used to say, and I think I said this last, I can't wait to see the good that's going to come out of this mess. So thank you for your energy and your enthusiasm and your consciousness and your presence. And I can't wait to see how we are going to grow and expand and have much more fulfilling life experience together as a community, as a family. And that was going to be a segue into Maestro. You want to grab the piano? Because we're going to sing a song, A Family of Love. We've only done this a few times, but I really hope this can be our theme song. We used Imagine for years. I think A Family of Love would work as well.
Get on your feet, folks.
Everybody stand up.
Together, that's the way we work together as we sing. We're family, we're family, we're family of love. We play together, that's the way we play together as we sing. We're family, we're family, we're family of love. We work together, lots of fun that way. We work together, what we work, we love to say. We live together, that's the way. Live together as we say. We're family, we're family, we're family of love. Our family. It's the Lord to walk with me, just like you and me. We live together, that's the way. Live together as we sing. We're family, we're family, we're family of God. How about a little amen, shall we? Amen. Amen.